Alright, so this is the week 2 preview video. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you've all had a great weekend, and looking forward to week 2. Okay, so I want to give you some tips. Start off with that in terms of how to successfully complete this course and to succeed in it. One tip I could give you is to watch the recap video and the overview preview video that you're watching right now. Watch them first. They'll give you a sense of what to expect, what to look for, as well as reinforce key themes from the previous week. And understanding the previous week is going to help you kind of going into the next week and just help you understand the course more fully. And then having a sense of what's to come, what to expect, is also really key, because then you're reading with a purpose, you're watching the videos with a purpose. In that same vein, I encourage you to read the lecture notes both before and after the readings and videos. Again, the more you kind of know about the subject going into it, and the more prepared you are to kind of really look for certain things and understand key points in the readings and the videos. And again, in this same line of thinking, read the discussion board posts, at least the ones relevant to the reading or video that you're doing, before watching or before doing the reading. It's always much easier to have a specific target, a specific question that you're looking for when you go into the reading. It gives your reading a focus, it gives your reading a purpose, and makes it more effective. Okay, so those three things: watching the videos, reading the lectures, looking at the discussion board post before you actually do the reading or watching the videos, is going to help you immensely. I encourage you to visit me during office hours, and I also, as a tip, don't wait until the last minute to do your discussion board posts. If you wait until Sunday, there's a good chance that I won't be able to respond to it, and I won't be able to give you feedback, and there's also a good chance that your post is rushed, and therefore you're not really doing as well as you can on it, and you're not really looking at the posts of your classmates. Okay. In terms of this week, the to-dos, they've been sent to you via email, and they are also posted on the homepage of NU Learn. But just to kind of recap, the videos, there's going to be an in-class video this time, in the sense of a video from a YouTube source, You're Not Special video, really kind of interesting commencement speech, as well as the 2 professor videos. But what I want to note, too, is that any lecture or any video that I post on NU Learn on the homepage, they're not gone after they leave that homepage. The videos that have been recorded or presented to you are either in the in-class video folder or the professor video folder, and they're both in the overall video folder, so you can view any video from the class by just going to those folders. If you want to refresh yourself, if you weren't sure about a particular point, definitely go back and look. Same with the lectures. The lectures will be in the lecture folder. There's reading for this week. There's another class poll about premarital sex. There are the usual discussion boards, and there is the first living ethics. So the living ethics is an opportunity for you to take something we're doing in course and apply it to your real life. In this case, you're going to act like someone very special. You're going to act like an egotist. You're going to act like the world revolves around you. So, what I want you to do is essentially act like you are the most important person in the world for that day, that everyone should serve you, and if people question you, you say, well, I just felt like putting my happiness first, or, my opinion is just as good as yours, and I can do what I want, so on and so forth. So we're testing both relativism, the idea that morality is just opinion, as well as the idea of egotism, where you are self-absorbed, you think the world revolves around you. And you'll have a discussion about it on the discussion boards. So logistics, the grades for the discussion boards, usually I'll update them by Monday, Tuesday the latest. The quizzes, some people did really, really well with perfect scores. Some people really struggled. If you did struggle, don't worry. Your lowest individual quiz drops. And if you are struggling, I encourage you to come again, visit me during office hours. I encourage you to hop on the discussion line, the conference call line on Sunday nights, and we can figure out where you're confused. Okay, so this week in terms of content, we're going to continue talking about some basic concepts, basic approaches to ethics. So universalism, absolutism, and relativism. And essentially what universalism says is that there are certain rules or codes of behavior or characteristics or principles that all people should follow, no matter how old they are, no matter their race, no matter their gender, no matter their income, no matter their religion, that there's certain things that you ought to do. This means this is a universal code of ethics, universal moral laws. There's certain things that are simply right. Now, this is different from absolutism, where absolutism says there's a very strict and rigid interpretation of what is right. There is only one single way to do things, and this single way of doing things is very strict, very rigid, no exceptions, no differing applications. I'll give you an example. Think of the drinking age. The drinking age in America is 21. In other parts of the world, it's different ages. And an absolutist would say, well, there should only be one drinking age throughout the world. That's it, no exceptions, and no taking a sip of beer with your dad watching a game or a sip of champagne at the wedding. There's no drinking if you're below this age for anyone, for any reason, under any circumstances. So that's an absolutist. A universalist might say something like, yeah, drinking age is a good idea because there's a certain point at which alcohol really is harmful. But the universalist would be more flexible in the sense that the universalist would allow this basic moral principle to be applied differently in different situations. Maybe in different parts of the world, the people are more mature. Maybe they just take a different attitude and different approach to drinking. Maybe it's not so much binge drinking. Maybe having a sip, at a special occasion isn't such a negative or harmful thing. So the universalist would allow some exceptions and some application. The relativist, on the other hand, thinks that morality is nothing but opinion. There is nothing beyond opinion. There is no right or wrong behind to judge disagreements. There is just opinion. Now, moral relativism can take two forms, either communal relativism or subjective/individual relativism. So the communal relativist believes that the community decides what is right and what is wrong. So whatever group you're a part of, whether that you're an American, or maybe you're a Catholic, or maybe you're a sports player, or maybe you're part of a feminist group, or maybe you're part of a very liberal politics. Whatever your group defines as right is right, and whatever they define as wrong is wrong. That's it. The group, the society, the community decides. A subjective relativist, on the other hand, says that the only thing that makes right versus wrong is your individual opinion. So if I think that reading philosophy 3 hours a night is good, then it's good for me. Then it's simply good. I define good. If you define it as wrong, if you define it as bad, then that's fine. That's your opinion. But neither opinion is more right than the other. Let me go an extreme route. Let's say I say that doing heroin is fine. It's good. It's mind expanding. It's wonderful, that kind of thing. Somebody else says, no, doing heroin is wrong. It's evil. The relativist, the individual relativist, would say there is no right or wrong. There is no opinion that is better than the other. My opinion would be just as good as yours. And that's the end of it. And we're going to kind of test that idea of relativism with the premarital sex poll, where you're going to look at different generations. How do you feel in your generation about premarital sex versus how your grandparents feel about premarital sex? Is there a difference? And if so, is either generation right? If you think, no, both generations are just as good as the other, well, then you're a communal relativist. If you think one generation has it more right than another, then you are a universalist. Okay, and this week we're also going to continue that theme of kind of egotism and self-centeredness with the You're Not Special commencement video. Really, really fascinating video. He's critiquing a certain way of looking at being special. He's not critiquing all forms of being special, but a particular way of thinking about it, a particular way of viewing yourself as special. A way of viewing yourself as special which is often associated with um, the younger generation to whom he speaks. And so this generation, this form being special that he's critiquing, is really the idea that the world revolves around you, that you are at the center of the universe. And he says that's wrong. And he has plenty of examples, the idea that we're going to raise standards just to make you feel better about yourself. We're going to give out awards just so you can feel special. We're going to change the names of things so you can feel superior to others. Your parents will dote on you, make sure you're feeling okay, spend all their time and energy on you. And so that's forms of being special that he's really going to critique. And he thinks it oftentimes comes from our fear of dread or fear of death, that we're nothing, that we're insignificant, that our lives don't mean anything. And so we want attention, we want praise, we want accolades, just to feel better about ourselves. But he says really what that does, it takes away from a more profound and more fulfilling form of being special. And that's where you realize you're unique and worthwhile, but you're not the center of the world. You're a person who is there to serve the world, to experience the world fully, not simply go through life trying to check things off a checklist that you think will make you seem important or worldly or intelligent or something like that, cultured. No, do what you're doing because you love it, because you're passionate about it, and that's really the highest form of being special. Okay, so with that, again, welcome to week 2. Looking forward to it, and let's see what your posts do, and gonna enjoy responding to you. Okay, have a great week.